What is up, everyone? It is finally the new year 2025, and today we are diving into the year 2000. Yes, video games from 25 years ago, Y2K, the year that we all freaked out that the world was going to be coming to a whole entire end. PCs were going to be destroyed. The robots were going to take over the world. It was an incredible type of year.
Tonight, by one estimate, 70% of Americans buying emergency supplies to welcome the new year.
But now let's take over a look on the top 10 games I think came out during that year. No particular order. We're going to get into game number one, which is no other than The Sims. First off, we have The Sims by Maxis and EA, released in 2000. The life simulation game allowed players to create and control virtual people, build homes, and manage their daily lives. It was a groundbreaking game that became a cultural phenomenon and spawned numerous sequels. Look, The Sims is now out with Sims 4. There were so many different DLCs. I mean, if you have kids that haven't played the original Sims, have them play the new Sims. I think it's free on Xbox Game Pass. It's a lot of fun, especially when you get the DLCs. Now they've been adding little things to it, but the game from 2000 to now, it still keeps with the same original type of theme and vibe. They just add a little bit more elements to it, and honestly, it was an amazing game. I enjoy every single aspect of it, especially when you take the walls and the windows out of a room and the doors, or you take out the ladder for they can't get out of the pool. It's a little messed up, but there's some fun things that you can do in the game that you might not know. Number two, we just finished playing this game, is no other than Final Fantasy IX by Squaresoft. The classic JRPG took players on an epic adventure with stunning graphics, captivating story, and memorable characters. It's considered one of the best entries in the Final Fantasy series. Final Fantasy IX had a lot of character design, a lot of characters that you would grow with: Sedaine, Dagger, Steiner, Vivi. The main four characters, you really grew with them. The other ones, not as much. I think Eiko, yes. The guy with the red hair, I kind of didn't feel anything with him. And I felt like the game gave you a lot of cool aspects, a lot of different moves that you have to learn different abilities, and with those abilities you can add them onto it, and they had repercussions depending on who you're fighting and stuff like that. So trying to figure out which, if you have to put locomotion, if you have to put heater, if you have to put beast killer, things like that, so you can kind of know where you're playing. And then if you've got a new weapon, do you want to change to that new weapon because you have not unlocked or mastered the ability yet? So it was a lot of fun, a lot of different things you had to do in the game. I think it's still my second favorite behind Final Fantasy VII Final Fantasy games out there ever. So if you have not played Final Fantasy IX, check it out. We did play it on our live stream recently, so it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed every single moment of it. We go into game number three, and I think this one is one of those games that we can't forget about it, which is no other than Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 from Neversoft and Activision. This skateboarding game revolutionized the genre with its smooth gameplay, impressive tricks, and iconic soundtrack. It is beloved by fans today. Tony Hawk was maybe one of the biggest names in skateboarding history. I mean, you had games like Skate or Die for the NES, and you had obviously California games and Back to the Future had a skateboarding level as well. But Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1, Pro Skater 2 just really brought out those elements that many people didn't know about. And honestly, we probably need another Tony Hawk coming out, maybe on the new gen systems, maybe the Switch 2, the new PlayStation when it comes out, or another system. I think people will still resonate with it and still want to play it because it's such a classic style type of game that we all grew up with. Number four, this one's one that we're getting a reboot on it. We're getting a remake, actually. It's no other than Jet Set Radio by Smilebit and Sega. This vibrant, fast-paced game had players grinding and tagging graffiti while evading the police. Its unique art style and music made it a standout title for the Sega Dreamcast. We already know that Sega last year, well actually 2 years ago in 2023, had announced that they're doing a bunch of new remakes. We're getting Just Set Radio, we're getting Golden Axe, we're getting Crazy Taxi, we're gonna get Ninja Gaiden, Shinobi, and we're also gonna get a Streets of Rage coming out. The fact that we're getting Just Say Radio is pretty cool. I cannot wait to see what's going to come out with it, what we're going to be getting, how the game's going to be, what system is going to be on, because we have been hearing that Sega is coming out with their own like Game Pass, PlayStation Plus, but I don't know how they're going to be doing that. How, you know, subscription servers maybe on Windows, or is it they're coming out with a system that you can get and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. I can't wait to see. I'm excited. I hope you guys are as well. Chrono Cross is our next game by Squaresoft. So Squaresoft really came out with a lot of games, and we all remember the sequel to Chrono Trigger. Took place on a time travel adventure with a rich story and diverse characters. It's a must play for the RPG fan. If you haven't played Chrono Trigger for the Super Nintendo, play that one first, obviously, because then Chrono Cross will get you into the next step or the next level of the actual game. I think Squaresoft was back then like literally just taking over everyone, and Chrono Trigger was probably one of the best games, RPGs of all time. Chrono Cross obviously being the second one that came out as well. We will be playing Chrono Trigger as one of our RPG games very soon. I cannot wait to start that series. But yeah, if you play Chrono Cross, let me know in the comments below. And if you have any games that you have thought so far were great in the year 2000, let me know below. I mean, look, 2000, I was 18 years old. Yes, I am very old and stuff, but I had loved all these games that came out. One that's going to be announced right now, which I wasn't that much of a fan, but it's been great because it's been coming out with so many games lately, is you can't miss out on Baldur's Gate 2 Shadows of Amn by BioWare and Interplay Entertainment. This RPG offered an immersive experience with deep character customization, a rich storyline, and memorial companions. Baldur's Gate 1, I remember playing. Baldur's Gate 2, I remember playing as well. It was not that bad. We've all gone to like Baldur's Gate, 4 that just came out, or 3. I'm not sure which one's the one that just won Game of the Year. And honestly, I feel like back in the day, this was the norm. We had a lot of RPGs. There wasn't many like action games. It was more like the RPG styles with Baldur's Gate, Diablos, Chrono Triggers, Final Fantasies. It was good. It wasn't bad. I mean, I wouldn't say it was a bad game. I think it's a very good game. It's just very different aspect from what other games I enjoyed, which are the next two on the list I'm going to give you right now, which is not other than number 7 is The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask by Nintendo. This action adventure game had players reliving the same 3 days to prevent the moon from crashing into the world. It's known for its unique mechanics and emotional story. Ocarina of Time is still my favorite Zelda for the next-gen systems. Obviously, my favorite of all time is Link to the Past. Majora's Mask was great. It freaked me the hell out when you see that moon up there, kind of like looking with a smile, like it's gonna blow up the whole entire world. And if you mess up, you have to go back to what you did and redo everything, and then go back again and redo everything. So it was a lot of fun, a lot of craziness. The fact that we have Majora's Mask been released on GameCube, it got released on a special edition box set, and then we got a re-release as well. I mean, it's something that I wouldn't mind an upgrade, like a remake on it. Nintendo's been doing a lot of remakes lately. I wouldn't mind a Majora's Mask Ocarina of Time remake to see what happens. I do have Ocarina of Time on the Game Boy Advance 3DS. But yeah, I wouldn't mind. I think Majora's Mask was a very good game. I know a lot of people think it's probably the best one. I don't think it's the best one. I think it's probably maybe my top 5 on my list. Probably one of my favorite games. And yes, I've been playing the new one and stuff like that, but an iconic title from the 2000 is no other than Diablo 2 from Blizzard Entertainment. This action RPG allowed players to choose from 5 different character classes and battle through hordes of demons in their quest to defeat the titular villain Diablo. Diablo 1 was great. I loved Diablo 1 when I first played it when I was a kid. I had a Pentium, I think it was a Pentium 100. Yes, we had Pentiums back then. Very slow PC and all that stuff, but it still managed what it needs to do. Diablo 2 just continued the story. It was great, fighting the whole entire Diablo part of it. I think the storyline was very immersive. Compared to now, Diablo 4, the main story with Lilith was great. The DLC, I have not touched it yet or anything like that, so I don't know how really it is, but it got very repetitive. I think the fact that you just enjoyed the storyline of Diablo 2 was just what people needed back in the day. We just enjoyed a storyline and not grinding to like level 100, trying to do like 10,000 dungeons at one time. The next two games are pretty good, the last two that we have on here. We can't forget about Deus Ex by Alan Storm. This cyberpunk-themed RPG combined first-person shooter mechanics with deep storytelling and player choice, making a revolutionary game in its genre. Deus Ex was probably what we have now as Cyberpunk 2077. I think it was a great story. Back in the day, we had a lot of those Cyberpunk style games. You know, we had the Double Dragon movie that came out. We had, what was the Fifth Element came out as well. We had Bill and Ted. Like, we had a lot of these different styles that, you know, those type of mechanics, those type of like themes were a big thing back then. Deus Ex was probably a good game. It wasn't one of my favorites out there. I remember playing it vaguely, but not something that I cherish to this day. But one that I do cherish to this day, and is getting a remake lately, is Perfect Dark by Rare on the Nintendo 64. The first-person shooter offered an intriguing sci-fi story, advanced AI, and highly praised multiplayer mode, cementing its place as a classic. They're remaking Perfect Dark, and I think Perfect Dark was a great game. We had GoldenEye, we had, you know, different other first-person shooters, but Perfect Dark gave us that story that, you know, a lot of us liked. We had like that mystery style, you know, kind of like drawn type of playing style of the game, and I think it was, you know, one of those games that I would possibly play right now. For sure, when it comes out with a remake, I will be jumping on it for sure. So there you have it, folks. Those are the best games from the year 2000. Let me know if you had any favorites on this list, or if there's any other games that you would have added to this list as your as well that came out in the year 2000. Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be reminded for the next video that's gonna be coming out. Make sure to check out this video that's gonna be popping up, because YouTube is recommending it to you, that you're gonna be liking it as well. Peace out, and thank you for watching.